Well, hello and welcome to The Zone. I'm your host, Big Wave Dave. Today we're going to talk about dinosaurs. Dinosaurs were some of the coolest creatures that ever roamed the earth. They were amazing. Now, have you ever wondered, what does the Bible have to say about dinosaurs? Is there anything in here about them? Well, there is, but you have to know where to look. Dinosaurs were created by God. How do I know that? Well, in Exodus 20:11, we learned that God made everything in just 6 days. In Genesis 1:24, it says that God made all the creatures that move along the ground on day 6. Now, do dinosaurs move along the ground? Yes, they do. So according to the Bible, dinosaurs were created on day 6. Now, God made all kinds of cool dinosaurs, like the Stegosaurus and the Brachiosaurus, and of course, the mighty T-Rex. But when God first made everything, it was very good. The animals didn't fight. Adam and Eve just hung out with all the different animals, including the dinosaurs in the Garden of Eden. And they got to walk with God every day. How cool is that? Now, I wish I could have been there. The Bible also tells us that in the beginning, all the animals ate plants for food. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Wait a minute, even this guy, the T-Rex? I mean, look at those sharp teeth. Everyone knows that those teeth are for fighting and biting, right? Let's play a game. What animal does this skull belong to? I'm going to give you some options, so get ready to choose. Are you ready? Here we go. Is it a mountain lion, a bear, a meat-eating dinosaur, or none of the above? Okay, shout out your answer. If you said none of the above, you're right. This skull belongs to a fruit bat. He uses those big sharp fangs to bite into fruit. And did you know that even today, some crocodiles eat fruit? Of course they eat meat too, but here's the point. They can use those sharp teeth to eat fruit or meat or anything they want to. Now, getting back to that T-Rex. Before the fall, before Adam and Eve sinned, he would have used those sharp chompers to bite into tasty treats like watermelons or maybe something like this coconut here. I mean, after all, how would you get this open without a sharp knife? Pretty impossible. Of course, after Adam and Eve sinned, all that changed. Now the dinosaurs were using those teeth to bite and fight and kill each other. It's kind of sad. In fact, the Bible tells us that after Adam and Eve sinned, the world became a very dark place. People were fighting and animals, they were all killing each other. It got so bad that God decided he had to wipe everything out and start over. Only those animals and people on the ark survived. Which means, according to the Bible, most of the dinosaurs were wiped out by the flood. Now, when I tell people that for the first time, this is usually the reaction I get. Cool story, man. I mean, that's really crazy. You got any proof? Got any evidence? We do. Let's talk about the fossil record. The fossil record is billions of dead things buried in rock layers laid down by water all over the world. And speaking of fossils, let me show you some of my favorites. This is the toe bone of a Brachiosaurus. The toe bone! Look how big it is! These creatures were massive. Man, talk about big feet. This here is a vertebrae of a plant-eating dinosaur called a Camarasaurus. It's a backbone. Now, just to give you an idea, ours is probably about that big or so, and you can see by this how big some of these creatures really were. So we have these really cool fossils, but do we have any proof that they were created by the flood? Check this out. We have these massive graveyards all over the world. In this one in Utah, there are over 2,000 bones with 11 different kinds of dinosaurs. And they're mixed together with crocodiles, turtles, lizards, frogs, and get this, clams. Now, don't clams live in the water? You're right, they do. Another clue is when we do find intact dinosaur skeletons, a lot of them look like they drowned, like this guy here. Even the mighty T-Rex drowned. Now let's think about this. What could drown something as big and powerful as a T-Rex? Well, I think you know. We even have fish and dinosaurs buried together. We have millions of sea creatures mixed in with millions of land creatures, all washed in together. What could do that? Well, a global flood, just like the Bible teaches. So, okay, most of the dinosaurs were wiped out by the flood. Does that mean that some of them were on the ark? Well, here's what God said. God said that he would send 2 of every kind of bird, of every kind of animal, and every kind of creature that moves along the ground to Noah to be saved. So according to the Bible, yes, there were some dinosaurs on the ark. Well, how would they fit? I mean, we just talked about how massive some of the creatures like the Brachiosaurus was. I mean, did Noah just grease them up and give them a good kick to get them in there? There is an answer. Let's take a closer look. I'm sure a lot of you have seen an ark like this. We call this the bathtub ark. I mean, it's cute. The animals are smiling, and somebody's pretty talented at doing this, but here's the problem. This is nothing like the real ark. The real ark was huge, over 510 feet long, 84 feet wide, and as tall as a 4-story building. Wow! Now, this picture was taken at the Ark Encounter in Kentucky. If you ever get a chance, you have got to go see this. They have a full-size replica of the ark there. And to give you an idea of how big it is, do you see these 2 dots down there on the right-hand side in that circle? Those are people. The real ark was huge. There was plenty of room for the animals and the food. Another thing to think about is this. There were only 80 kinds of dinosaurs, and most of them grew to be no bigger than a pony or so. What about the really big ones like the Brachiosaurus? Well, even the big ones started out very small. In fact, we have found Brachiosaurus eggs, and they're no bigger than a football. Besides, it would make a lot of sense to bring baby dinosaurs on. I mean, after all, they sleep more, they eat less, they weigh less, they're a lot easier to take care of. And who would you rather clean up after, Junior or Grandpa? You would need a bulldozer to clean up after Grandpa. Yuck! Now, after the dinosaurs got off the ark, the world had changed. It was really hard for them to find food, and a lot of them got into fights with people. Of course, dinosaurs were called something different back then. Do you know what it was? If you said dragons, you're right. Speaking of dragons, I wanted to show you my absolute favorite fossil. So here's what we're going to do. When I bring this guy out, I want you to yell out the first word that comes to mind, okay? Are you ready? Here we go. Ta-da! Now, I don't know about you, but this looks like a dragon. It's incredible. So, what kind of dinosaur was this? Glad you asked. So this guy was found in South Dakota, and they believe that it was a juvenile pachycephalosaur. But whatever the case, I'm sure you will agree that this guy looks like a dinosaur. So are there any references in history to dragons? Well, let me ask you a question. How many of you have pets? You have a cat or a dog or a bird or maybe a gorilla or something. Have you ever taken pictures of your pet or drawn something or told people about it? This is my Daisy Duke. She is so fun. I take pictures of her and talk about her all the time because she's cool. Well, weren't dinosaurs cool? Well, yeah, they were. So if people lived with dinosaurs, don't you think they would have said something or wrote about them or drawn pictures of them? They did. Let's look at a few examples. St. George is famous for slaying a dragon. Now what's really cool about it is we can tell what kind of dinosaur this was. It was a nothosaur. Alexander the Great and his army were scared by the dragons that lived in caves. Now let's think about this. I mean, these guys were big, tough, strong soldiers. What could scare them? Well, I think a dinosaur would. These two long-necked dinosaurs are on a Roman mosaic. There are also pictures of dinosaurs on the side of the Grand Canyon. What's really cool about this one is we can tell from the shape it was probably an Amontosaurus. Here's another one in Canada. These are all over the world. Absolutely amazing. Now this is my absolute favorite. This is a sauropod dinosaur surrounded by 9 hunters. Wow, that's incredible. So, I have a question for you. If no human has ever seen a dinosaur, then why do we have dragon legends from all over the world? Why do we have paintings and carvings and drawings of what appear to be dinosaurs? Why do we have writings about what appear to be encounters between dinosaurs and humans? Well, I think the answer is simple. People lived with dinosaurs, just like the Bible said. Wow, we have covered a lot. Now, to help you remember some of this, I found a really cool video. Check this out.
Are dinosaurs in the Bible? Well, the word dinosaur didn't come about until Sir Richard Owen coined it in 1841. But the book of Job in the Bible does refer to a massive creature that God called Behemoth, which had a tail like a cedar tree. Sounds like a sauropod dinosaur. God also said he made Behemoth at the same time he made humans, which makes a lot of sense when you think about all the dragon legends from around the world. After all, what people called dragons were probably dinosaurs before the word dinosaur existed. St. George fought a dragon. So did Alexander the Great's army, and Marco Polo saw one while visiting China. In fact, Chinese historians feature dragons alongside other known animals in the Chinese zodiac. Cave drawings, tapestries, and carvings on other continents also show people and dinosaur-like creatures side by side. That makes sense, since scientists have found original soft tissues, like blood vessels and red blood cells, in dinosaur bones. Lab tests have shown that these kinds of materials break down quickly, so these dinosaur bones can't be very old. As the Bible says, and science confirms, dinosaurs weren't here before humans. They lived at the same time because they were created on the same day.
Welcome back. So here's the truth about dinosaurs. Dinosaurs were created on day 6 of Creation Week. Most of the dinosaurs were wiped out by the global flood. The survivors that came off the ark had a lot of trouble finding food and were hunted to extinction by mankind. So why does this even matter? I mean, why do any of these topics really matter? I mean, isn't it all about Jesus? Well, you're right, it is, but here's the problem. When people don't believe the Bible, they usually don't believe about Jesus either. And the Bible tells us that one day Jesus is coming back and he's going to take all the people that love him to a very special place called heaven. But people that don't believe in Jesus, they're not going to get to go. And I don't know about you, but that makes me really sad. That's why we put together over 24 topics in the zone to help you develop a strong, confident faith. Now, to get you started, we're going to give away this free book. Here's what you need to do to get your book. Have your parent or guardian go to the website shown on your screen. Click on the feedback button, ask for your book, and then please provide your full name, your email address, and your mailing address. If you'll do that, we will send you this book absolutely free. It's our way of thanking you for watching this video. So I'd just like to pause for a moment and acknowledge all these amazing ministries that help provide content for our time together. Well, I'm Big Wave Dave, and I hope to see you next time in the zone. God bless you.